Courtroom scene. Judge Judy, sharp as ever, sits on the bench. The plaintiff, Lisa Mendonca, 28, well-dressed but anxious, and the defendant, her cousin Mark Rodriguez, 35, casual, confident, sit at their tables. Bailiff BYRD stands sentinel. Bailiff, case number 4572, Lisa Mendonca versus Mark Rodriguez. Judge Judy looks at the papers, then at the litigants. All right, Ms. Mendonca, you're the plaintiff. You start. Tell me what happened. Lisa leans into the microphone, voice trembling slightly. Thank you, Your Honor. This is about my grandmother, Celia. She passed away last year. She was my whole world. She raised me. Judge Judy, I'm sorry for your loss. Get to the point, Lisa. Yes, ma'am. Before she died, she gave me something. A small, antique metal lockbox. It wasn't fancy, just an old tin box with a little key. She told me, this is for you, for your future. Keep it safe. She was very specific. She said, don't let anyone else open it, especially not your cousin Mark. Judge Judy's eyes flick instantly to Mark, who shifts in his seat. Judge Judy, why would she say that? Lisa, Mark and Grandma. They didn't always get along. He was always asking her for money, for loans he never paid back. She didn't trust him with important things. Judge Judy, to Mark, we'll get to you in a minute. Go on, Lisa. I took the box home. I was grieving, so I just put it on my bookshelf. I wanted to wait for the right moment to open it. A few months later, I had to go out of town for a week for a work conference. My apartment. I have a cat, so I needed someone to check in. Mark offered. He said, I'm family, I'll do it. Judge Judy, did you pay him? Lisa, no. He said he was happy to help. Judge Judy, scribbles a note. That was your first mistake. Never let a relative you don't fully trust do you a favor for free. It's never free. Continue. Lisa, when I came back, everything seemed fine. But a few days later, I went to look at the box, just to feel close to her. It was gone. Completely gone from the shelf. I tore my apartment apart. Nothing. The only person who had been inside was Mark. Judge Judy, did you confront him? Lisa, immediately. I called him and asked, Mark, did you see a small metal box at my place? He got very defensive. Said he had no idea what I was talking about. Said I was probably just messy and lost it. But I'm not messy. And I know where I put it. Judge Judy, what do you think was in the box? Lisa, I don't know for sure. Grandma wasn't wealthy, but she had some old jewelry from Portugal. Her wedding ring. Maybe some savings bonds or old coins. She was from that generation that didn't trust banks completely. It was her just in case money for me. But to me, it wasn't about the money. It was her last gift to me. And he took it. Lisa's eyes well up. She composes herself. Judge Judy nods, turns to Mark. Mr. Rodriguez, your turn. Did you take the box? M.A.R.K. scoffs, leans forward. Absolutely not. This is ridiculous. I helped my cousin out as a favor. This is the thanks I get? Accusations? I never saw any box. Lisa's always been dramatic. She's probably broke and trying to get money from me. Judge Judy, were you and your grandmother not close? Mark, we had our disagreements. She played favorites and Lisa was the golden child. Just because I asked for a few loans, Judge Judy, did you pay those loans back? Mark, that's between me and her. She was family. You help family. Judge Judy, helping family doesn't mean taking money you don't repay. It's called mooching. So you're saying you went into her apartment, you didn't see a box, and you didn't take it. Mark, that's exactly what I'm saying. Judge Judy, Ms. Mendonca, did you have any proof he was in the apartment alone? A spare key? Lisa, yes, I gave him my key. When I got back, he returned it. Judge Judy, to Mark, did you return the key? Mark, yes, I did. Right when she got home. Judge Judy, so we have your word against his. A classic he said, she said. Not very compelling. Ms. Mendonca, why should I believe you? You admit you don't even know what was in the box. For all I know, you lost it yourself. Lisa takes a deep breath because 2 weeks after I confronted him, his girlfriend Chloe called me. She said she'd seen the box. She said Mark had it. The courtroom goes quiet. Mark's confident smirk vanishes. Judge Judy, eyes narrow, laser focused on Mark. Well, isn't that interesting? Bailiff, we're going to take a short recess. When we come back, Mr. Rodriguez, you're going to explain why your girlfriend is calling your cousin about a box you claim you never saw asterisk Judge Judy before the break. Ms. Mendonca stated that your girlfriend Chloe contacted her. Mr. Rodriguez, did your girlfriend call the plaintiff about this lockbox? Mark shifts uncomfortably. They talked, yeah. But Chloe didn't know what she was talking about. She was confused. We were fighting, and she was just trying to stir up trouble. Judge Judy, people who want to stir up trouble usually make things up. They don't pick specific, obscure details like an old tin lockbox. Ms. Mendonca, what exactly did Chloe say to you? Lisa, she called me crying. She said she and Mark had a huge fight. She said that during the fight, Mark bragged that he didn't need her, that he had come into some money. When she pressed him, he showed her the box. He told her my grandmother had been hiding cash and he claimed what was fair. Judge Judy, to Mark, claimed what was fair. What does that mean? Was the box left to you in the will? Mark, no, but Grandma owed me money. She promised to help me with a down payment years ago and never did. Lisa got everything, the love, the attention, and probably a secret stash. I just balanced the scales. Judge Judy leans back, a look of profound disdain on her face. Judge Judy, oh, I see. So you did take the box? You just decided you were entitled to it? You're not a thief, you're a what? A self-appointed debt collector for your dead grandmother? Mark, it wasn't stealing. It was owed. Judge Judy, it was in her apartment. Points to Lisa, it was given to her. Did you have a note from your grandmother saying, Dear Mark, please break into Lisa's home and take the box I gave her to settle my debts? Do you have that? Mark, it's not breaking in if she gave me the key. Judge Judy, she gave you the key to feed the cat, not to rummage through her belongings and commit larceny. That's a breach of trust, and it's illegal. So we've established you took it. Now, what was in it? Mark, I don't have to say. Judge Judy, oh yes you do. This is my courtroom. You will answer the question, what was in your grandmother's box? Mark mumbles, some junk. An old necklace. A few papers. Lisa, what papers? And her wedding ring? Was it there? Mark, there was a ring, yeah. Lisa, voice breaks. And what did you do with it all? Mark is silent, staring at the floor. Judge Judy, Mr. Rodriguez, look at me. What did you do with the contents of the box? Mark, I sold the necklace and the ring. At a pawn shop on 3rd Avenue. Lisa gasps, puts her hand over her mouth. You sold them? How could you? Those were heirlooms. Judge Judy, quiet, please. To Mark, and the money? Mark, I used it. I had bills. Judge Judy, of course you did. And the papers? What were they? Mark, I don't know. They looked old. I didn't really read them. I think I threw them out. Lisa, you threw them out? They could have been anything. Birth certificates, letters, family history. Judge Judy, Ms. Mendonca, control yourself. To Mark, you threw away potentially important documents because you were too lazy to look at them. You sold sentimental jewelry for cash. You were a piece of work, Mark. She said the box was for Lisa's future. Well, I needed the money for my future too. It's not fair. Judge Judy, life isn't fair. But we have laws. You took property that didn't belong to you and converted it for cash. That's the definition of conversion. You owe her the value. So we need to establish that value. Ms. Mendonca, do you have any receipts, appraisals, photos of this jewelry? Lisa wipes her eyes. I have a few old pictures of Grandma wearing the necklace and ring. I have the pawn ticket. Judge Judy, how did you get the pawn ticket? Lisa, after Chloe called me, I went to every pawn shop in the area with a photo of Mark. The guy at City Pawn on 3rd recognized him. He showed me the ticket record. He paid Mark $850 for both pieces. Judge Judy to Mark. $850. You sold your grandmother's legacy for $850. Pathetic. Miss Mendonca, is $850 what you're suing for? Lisa. No, Your Honor. The sentimental value is much higher. And we don't know what those papers were worth. I'm suing for $5,000. Mark, $5,000? That's insane. They were old trinkets. Judge Judy, they weren't yours to appraise. But she has a point. Sentimental value isn't a check I can write. We need to find the fair market value. Bailiff, we're going to recess again. I want to see those photos and that pawn ticket, asterisk. Judge Judy is examining a photograph and a carbon copy pawn ticket handed to her by the bailiff. Judge Judy, all right. I'm looking at Plaintiff's Exhibit A, a photograph of an elderly woman, presumably your grandmother, wearing a rather nice gold locket necklace and a simple gold band ring. And Exhibit B, a pawn ticket from City Pawn for one gold locket with chain and one 14K gold band ring. Purchased for $850 from a seller identified as Mark Rodriguez. With his driver's license number listed. It's dated July 12th of this year, asterisk. She looks at Mark over her glasses. Judge Judy, care to explain how your name, ID, and signature are on this ticket if you never had the box? Mark, defeated. I already said I sold them. I admitted it, asterisk. Judge Judy, good. We're finally getting the truth, dragged out of you piece by piece. Now, Miss Mendonca, $5,000 is a lot for used jewelry that fetched $850 at a pawn shop. Pawn shops give maybe a third of the actual value. So maybe the retail value was $2,500. Why 5? Lisa, because it's not just the jewelry, Your Honor, it's the violation. He violated my home, my trust, and my grandmother's last wish. And the papers. What if they were important? What if they were stock certificates or a small life insurance policy? He threw away something that could have been priceless because he didn't bother to look. Judge Judy, speculation. I can't award you money for what ifs. I need concrete damages. Do you have any idea what those papers might have been? Lisa hesitates. Grandma once mentioned something about her father owning a small piece of land back home. It was just a story she told, but what if there were property deeds? He threw it in the trash. Mark, it was just a bunch of old Portuguese writing. I couldn't even read it. Judge Judy, that's your defense? I stole it and then I threw away parts of it because I was illiterate to the language. That makes it worse. You didn't just take cash. You destroyed potentially irreplaceable family documents out of sheer ignorance and greed. Judge Judy sighs, thinking, I believe you, Miss Mendonca, that the loss of those papers is a real injury, but quantifying it is difficult. However, we can quantify the jewelry, and we can quantify the trespass and conversion. Mr. Rodriguez, you have admitted to the facts. The only question is the judgment amount. Mark, I can't pay. $5,000. I don't have it. Judge Judy, that is not my problem. You should have thought of that before you played pirate with your cousin's inheritance. Did you spend the $850? Mark, most of it, yeah. Judge Judy, on what? Mark, just bills. And a new sound system for my car. Lisa shakes her head in disgust. Judge Judy, a sound system. So your grandmother's memories are now bass speakers? Charming, Lisa. Your Honor, I don't just want the money. I want to know if there's any way to get the items back. The pawn shop holds them for a period, right? Judge Judy, usually 30 to 60 days before they put them out for sale. Bailiff, what's the date on this ticket? Bailiff, July 12th, Your Honor. Today is August 30th. Judge Judy, that's 49 days. They might still be in the back. If you had the $850 plus the pawn shop's fee, you could potentially redeem them. But you'd need the ticket and the cash. Mr. Rodriguez, do you have the $850 to buy them back for her? Mark, no, I told you, I spent it. Judge Judy, then you'll have to pay her the value so she can try to buy them back. We are going to recess. I'm going to consider the valuation. And Mr. Rodriguez, You better start thinking of how you're going to pay what you owe. Asterisk. Judge Judy is ready with her decision. Judge Judy, I've heard enough. Let's get to it. Mr. Rodriguez, you are a thief. You abused a position of trust, entered your cousin's home under false pretenses, and stole a locked box you knew was not meant for you. You then sold the contents for petty cash and discarded the rest with the care of someone throwing out yesterday's newspaper. Your behavior is contemptible, Mark, but Judge Judy, I'm not finished. You don't get to, but here. You sat there and lied to me initially. You only admitted the truth when confronted with irrefutable evidence from your own girlfriend and a pawn ticket. You have zero credibility. Now, to the damages. The fair market value of the jewelry is what a willing buyer would pay a willing seller. The pawn shop is not a retail buyer. It's a lowball buyer. However, without a professional appraisal, the best evidence I have is what the market bore, $850. But that's the thief's price, not the owner's price. Furthermore, you caused additional damages by making it impossible for her to recover the family papers. You converted and destroyed property that has value. Therefore, I am awarding the plaintiff the full $5,000 she asked for. Mark, what? You can't do that. That's crazy. Judge Judy, I can, and I just did. Sit down and be quiet. The $5,000 represents the replacement value of the jewelry, which I estimate at $25,002,500, for the destruction of the personal papers and the significant emotional distress caused by your callous actions. It is a fair sum. Lisa nods. Relieved. Thank you, Your Honor. Judge Judy, don't thank me yet. Getting a judgment and collecting it are two different things. Mr. Rodriguez, you will pay Ms. Mendonca $5,000. How do you intend to do that? Mark, I don't have it. I work as a delivery driver. I live paycheck to paycheck. Judge Judy, then you should have kept your hands off things that didn't belong to you. You will set up a payment plan. $200 per month until the $5,000, plus any court costs are paid in full. Bailiff, make sure that's in the order. Mark, $200 a month? That's going to take years. Asterisk. Judge Judy, then you should have thought about that for the 2 seconds it took you to put that box under your arm. Consider it a very long, very expensive lesson in not being a thief. Now, there's one other thing. The jewelry may still be at the pawn shop. Ms. Mendonca, with this judgment, you can use any portion of the money you receive to redeem the items if they're still there. The ticket is in your possession. You will need the cash value plus the pawnbroker's fee. That is your choice, Lisa. I understand. I'll go there right after this. Judge Judy, good. As for you, Mr. Rodriguez, look at your cousin. Reluctantly, Mark looks at Lisa. Judge Judy, you didn't just steal from her. You stole from your own family's history. You sold a piece of your grandmother for a car stereo. I hope every time you turn that music up, you remember what it cost you in character and in cash. You are dismissed. Asterisk. Lisa, Mark, can we get a word? They stop. The interviewer steps into frame. Interviewer, Lisa, you won the full $5,000. How do you feel? Lisa, vindicated but still heartbroken. The money doesn't bring back what he threw away, but I'm going straight to the pawn shop to see if her ring and necklace are still there. Interviewer, Mark, what's your reaction to the judgment? Mark, sullen, arms crossed. It's unfair. It was family stuff. It got blown out of proportion. Now I'm in debt for years. Interviewer, Judge Judy said you sold it for a sound system. Do you regret it? Mark, pauses, looks at the ground. Yeah, I guess. I didn't think it would go this far. Lisa shoots him a look but says nothing. Interviewer, Lisa, what about your relationship? Can you two come back from this? Lisa looks directly at Mark. No, some lines once crossed, you can't come back from. He was my cousin. Now he's just someone who owes me money. Lisa turns and walks away. Mark is left standing with the interviewer. Scene change. A few hours later. City pawn shop. Lisa is at the counter holding a pawn ticket. The pawnbroker, a gruff man in his 50s, returns from the back room. He is holding a small plastic bag. Pawnbroker, you're in luck. Still here. A lot of gold comes in. This was plain. Nobody wanted it yet. Total to redeem is $935. That's the $850 plus holding fee. Asterisk. Lisa quickly counts out cash from her own wallet. She'd brought her savings, hoping for this chance. She hands it over. The pawnbroker slides the bag across the counter. With trembling hands, Lisa opens it. Inside is the gold locket and the simple wedding band. She clutches them tightly, tears in her eyes. Lisa, whispering, "Thank you." Final scene, Lisa's apartment. That evening, Lisa places the locket and ring carefully in the center of her clean, empty bookshelf. She then takes the now empty antique tin lockbox and places the jewelry inside. She closes the lid but doesn't lock it. She holds the box for a moment, then places it back on the shelf, a symbol reclaimed. Though forever altered, Judge Judy's final voiceover, archival footage. People think small claims court is just about money. It's not. It's about responsibility. It's about consequences. He thought he could take what wasn't his and face no reckoning. Today, he got his reckoning. And she got a piece of her history back. Not all of it, but sometimes in my courtroom, that's the best you can hope for.